All right, thank you very much, Hui Jin, for that wonderful introduction. And of course, like what she mentioned just now, I just came back from a long holiday. And today, our main topic is the book, all right? The book Confidence Solution, and not about my trip. That maybe we can have another meeting, informal meeting, and meet up to share more about my traveling experience. Nevertheless, today, I have proposed to Ricky to share about this book, which is actually the first book in my life that I have read from the first page to the last page. And when I want to tell Ricky, why did I choose this book, right? Because it has actually changed my life. My habit of buying a book, whenever I bought a book, I will write in front my name, okay, the cover page, right? Okay, can't see. But I will write down my name and when I buy the book. So can you guess how long ago that I bought this book? Maybe some of you can guess. You can type in the chat box or just unmute and just guess and see. How long ago? Arun or Yanxiang, you can even respond in the chat box or unmute yourself. No worries. Just like to get some responses. Or Hui Jin side also can share. Okay.
What do you want me to share? Okay.
Can guess when I bought this book?
Oh,
How many years
okay.
ago? Yes.
5 years ago.
5 years ago. Okay, thank you very much. So the answer is 10 years ago. I bought this book in 2013, and actually I only buy this book for 5 ringgit at the Big Bad Wolf. Maybe most of you who stay in Klang Valley, you have heard of this book fair, Big Bad Wolf, where you can really get good deals of books less than 10 ringgit. So I love to buy books, even though I don't read all of them. And one of the book that I started reading is this book because I felt that the language is very easy. And when I read the book, I felt that the author is talking to me. And at that point of time, I'm also transitioning to a new phase of my life, which I started my degree all by myself. Why I say all by myself? Because I'm entering into a university without any friends with me. Okay, so I need to make new friends. And I felt that I really need to be independent and have that kind of confidence to brave through my 4 years of degree life. So that has actually gave me a booster after I read the book to become the best version of myself in my university life. And I'm really, really glad that I get hold of this book at that point of time. So it's a really, really lucky for me. I felt very grateful that, yeah, thank you, Aaron, for sharing secondhand books for the price. Yes, definitely. Yeah. Now, I'd like to share my screen in order to share with you a summary of what is entailed in this book. What is the most important lessons that has changed my life? Okay. Now, okay. Yes, I believe you can now see my screen. So welcome. I think we can see more participants online right now. Hi, Melanie, and also Fariza.
Hello.
Hi, yes, I'm starting to share some of the learnings that I get from this book called The Confidence Solution. Okay, so this book, right, I believe confidence, we need it in our life, no matter in what we do, especially when we are trying out something new. We feel very fearful, we feel very uncertain and doubtful about our own self. I think that's very, very normal. So today, I'll just like to share with you that this book is not only about building your own self-confidence, but it's also how you can instill confidence in others, motivating them that, hey, you can also do it. You can also be a better person in this. So how we can empower them by understanding the cause of why they are not confident. Okay. So next up, I would like to ask every one of you, what do you think confidence is? Maybe you can type in the chat box, or maybe you can just unmute yourself and share. What does confidence mean to you? Okay. Anyone, you can unmute yourself. I would like to make this an interactive session as well.
Able to perform something.
Yes, good. Yes, able, the ability to do something. All right. Thank you very much, Yanxia. How about others? What does confident mean to you? Richie, no, even, yes, Ricky there? Yes. You want to say something? You can type in the chat box also. Yeah, okay, thank you, Hui Chin. The courage to step up. Yes, I like the word courage. Being brave enough to step up, to do something, to voice out or whatever it is. Okay. All right. So maybe some of you are still thinking. The reason why I would like you to be interactive and also share out your opinion also because that is also a way of being confident to share your opinion. Yeah, it's not easy to do that, but thank you for those who have responded. According to the dictionary, right, confidence means the feeling or belief that one can have faith in or rely on someone or something. Okay, so there are many definitions of confidence and don't have a real definite definition. So here, right, according to this author, Kit Johnson, he called himself the #1 America confidence coach. There are many kinds of coaches in the world, so it just depends on how you name it. And I would not say that he is the New York best-selling author or what. If you Google him, he may not be as popular as Tony Robbins or even John C. Maxwell. But for him, right, I think he may also be able to reach out certain audience, especially for those who would love to boost their self-confidence in the areas of their life that they want to explore on. According to him, he defines confidence as a positive belief in yourself, okay, your potential, your abilities, you are clear about that. And it will give you a feeling of certainty to perform at your best. For example, you know how to solve the problems that you face. You are clear about your future direction. And of course, you will have the ability to take calculated risks so that you can achieve outrageous success in your life. In my opinion, I don't think there is a normal success or a mediocre success. But success to me is something very extraordinary. And here, like according to the author, you really need to take that extra mile, extra step of more effort in order to be successful in life compared to others. So here, the author is trying to motivate everyone to achieve the highest level of confidence in order to achieve this kind of extraordinary results, not only for yourself, but also for others. Okay. Now, moving on, I would like to just share one quote here that confidence is not really dependent on your conditions or your external environments, but you yourself, you can have the power to change your life. Okay, so it's basically your decisions is in your hand that can shape the future outcome of your life. And this really depends on the level of confidence that you have in each area of your life. So now I would just like to do a simple exercise with every one of you. The author has also started his book. Before he go into his sharing, he actually asked everyone, the reader, to access the confidence level of themselves. Okay, so I pick a few questions. It's a very simple question, but sometimes when we go through our daily routine, we may not even reflect on this very simple question or even how we are doing at the moment. So from the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the weakest, okay, 10 being the highest score, all right? So you just rate yourself based on these questions that I will share next in my slides. You can type in the chat box, or if you still feel very shy, you don't want to let other people know about your confidence level, it's perfectly fine. You can just jot it down in your notebook or just remember it. But I think it's very important for you to jot it down physically in a book or on a piece of paper or in your handphone, notebook or whatever. Okay, write it down. Now, first question here is, I love myself as a person. From 1 to 10, how do you agree with this statement at this point of time? If you think that you really love yourself, put 10, okay, or maybe 9, okay? You can put in the chat box if you'd like to share with others your answer. If not, you can just keep it to yourself, all right? Wow, Ravi, 10, 9, wow, I'm so proud of you. You really love yourself. That's really a good step for a high level of confidence. Thank you, Dad. Now, second question. I am as good as everyone else. I'm as good as everyone else. Okay, thank you, Ravi and Hui Chin. I hope the rest is also rating themselves. Next question. I'm not afraid to ask for what I want. Generally, yeah, okay. I'm not afraid to ask for what I want. For example, you want a pay raise from your boss. Are you confident to ask that? Or you say that, oh, I want to buy this. Are you afraid to ask how much is the price from the salesperson? Okay. Now, next one. I can laugh at myself. I can laugh at myself. There's different interpretation for this question, but I think it depends on how you see it. I can laugh at myself. Right. Last question for today, the assessment. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. I'm not afraid to make mistakes. All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Ravi and Hui Chin, especially for sharing with us your score. All right, there's no right or wrong. Maybe 10 years ago, you may rate yourself very low, but today I would say that both of you, especially Ravi and Hui Chin, you have a very high level of confidence. But of course, there's still something for everyone to learn based on this confidence solution book. And maybe you can ask yourself, if you were confident, sorry, there's a typo here, how would your life be different? If you were more confident, okay, how would your life be different? Maybe if you think that some of the areas you can score a 10, okay, how would that change your life, or how would it be different? This is a question, it's not the rating, yeah? This is a general question. For example, if you think that you are more confident, maybe you have more friends, for example, or maybe you are able to earn more than currently what you are earning, or maybe you can live in your dream home, for example. So what is it that you foresee yourself if you were more confident than what you thought? Okay, how would your life be different? So think about this. If you are able to elevate your confidence today, how would your life be different? So envision that kind of life where you are so confident, you are not afraid of anything in your life. All right, so think about it, and I shall move on to my next point. So here the author also shared that confidence is the thermostat that regulates your degree of success in your life, which means if you are confident, you are able to be more successful in your life. And of course, I understand that everyone, you have your own definition of success. I hope you have that, all right? If not, sometimes you may feel miserable. You thought that, oh, you earn a lot of money. That will actually means that you are successful in life. But sometimes maybe at the end of the day, you felt that actually that's not what I want. At every point of life, I think we may face this kind of dilemma. We thought that is our definition of success, but that may not be. I'm not sure about you, but I think it's always good to ask yourself these questions. How do you define your success in life? And of course, the author has shown the thermostat in 5 different areas. So he also actually asked us to rate yourself, okay? Where are you in each area? So you can see that there is this icon, the human icon over here, right? So that is how I rate myself. For example, in terms of my potential means an area which I have not explored, my untapped strength, which I may not know. Maybe I'm still waiting, or I still need to do something, take certain actions to unleash my potential. Okay, that's why I think a lot of reading will help me there. I felt that I'm here at this point at about 40 degrees rather than 100 degrees. And in terms of achievement in life, currently I'm at my 30s, okay, in my 30s. I felt that I'm still here, slightly more than 50%. And in terms of income, of course, I have not earned my first 1 million yet, so I put myself at thousands over here. Weight-wise, I'm slightly, I would say, still within the BMI, but I'm foreseeing myself to be heavyweight if I do not control my weight properly. And in terms of relationship, I felt that I have good relationships with my peers, with especially my Toastmasters friends and also my colleagues. So I rate myself quite high over here. So how about you? Maybe you can just take a screenshot or write down these areas and read yourself. Where are you? And from this thermostat, you can actually think which of these areas in your life that you want to elevate your confidence. And from there, you can take the right plan and also actions to work on it. Okay? So this is just for your information. Now, the next part that I would like to share is this author. It's very unique, I would say, because he uses this life confidence triangle throughout his book. So here you can see that if you want to have a life confidence, you need to be clear, you need to be focused, and you need to get moving, taking actions. So he actually breaks down his content of sharing by elaborating on what you need to do in each of these triangles. For example, you want to have inner confidence, or you want to achieve great results, or you want to achieve high level of confidence in leadership, all right? What you need to do. So he uses these triangle techniques. And why triangle? Because he explained that triangle is a balanced and connected shape. Based on this triangle, he says that all the steps influence and affect one another as you make progress. So it means that all of these components here are interconnected. If you want to be successful, you need to be confident. If you want to make progress, you need to take actions. You need to start to have these achievements. So this is just a guideline for your information as well. So today I'm going to share the 3 main things that I learned and benefited from this particular book, which hopefully can also inspire you. I would say it doesn't mean that you really need to read this book, but I think the key here is to really motivate us to take action in order to be more confident in our life. All right. So the first part I would like to share here is confronting your FUDs. I think this part is very, very important because before we talk about confidence, we need to know our FUD. What are FUD? Okay. FUD stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. If you tell me that you totally do not have fear, totally do not have uncertainty or doubt, I would not believe you, because our human nature, we will definitely have those kind of fears in our mind that protects us from the danger that we may face in our life. So that is actually very natural for all human, okay? And there's this very interesting acronym about fear. It says that fear is a fantasized experiences that appears to be real. I really agree about that because, for example, sometimes, like for example, you have an opportunity to speak in the public, to share about your experience, all right? So maybe you will foresee yourself standing in front of the crowd, you feel you are trembling in fear, or you are afraid of those questions that is being asked at you, or you may afraid that people will say negative things about you. Hey, who is this person over here? She's like, I mean, she doesn't look like she's experienced or fit to share about the topic. So you will have all these negative thoughts in your mind. But after you have done the presentation, you appear to have a lot of good responses. And actually, those fears that you have thought about just now, it did not really happen. I think I experienced that a lot in my life, and I'm really glad that in Toastmasters especially, before we deliver a speech, we always feel very scared. But after we finish the speech presentation, our evaluator will always give that very good feeling, encourage us that, oh, you did great in the speech and how you can improve. So I think sometimes these fears are not real, okay? It just wants to stop you from taking action. So it's very important for us to identify what are the fears that stopping you to take actions that stop you from achieving your goals as well, okay? So recognize your fear and confront them. The second part is related to uncertainties, especially throughout the pandemic, since COVID-19 has happened 3 years ago. I think that has actually magnified the uncertainties in our life. We do not know what will happen next. Okay, today you look like you are very healthy, and then the next day maybe you are COVID positive and you need to quarantine yourself and you can't travel here and there, and affects your whole daily routine. You feel frustrated. So I think we learned that uncertainties is definitely there, but how we really manage it, how we really identify the insecurities and overcome it, it's also another skill. So we need to learn how to confront it. And last but not least here, the doubt about yourself, those negative thoughts. Instead of asking, what if I fail if I do this? Why not ask yourself, what if I succeed? I think this reframing of mindset is really, really important, and we need to remind ourselves constantly. And for myself, I think the largest takeaway from this book is really to reframe our mindset that we can do it. Okay, asking the right questions is so important, because if you ask yourself, what if I fail? The answer is likelihood is all a negative answer. Oh, people will not trust me anymore, and they will not invite me as a speaker anymore. So you will feel very down and negative after that. So what if I succeed? Oh, what if I succeed? And in future, there are people who benefit from my sharing, and you'll feel more empowered to do more and also improve your next performance. So that is very important, to remind yourself what kind of questions you are telling yourself or asking yourself in your mind. Okay, from impossible, yes, you can make it possible. Now, I hope I'm not going too fast, all right? So if you have any questions along the way, thank you, Yan Shang, for the 2 minutes. I will need about maybe 5 more minutes to share. Okay, confidence to produce results. Yes, I think especially those who are working with a company, all right, you get a salary. Your boss may always ask you or expect you to produce certain results in your life. And I think that is also very important, because your beliefs in the possibility of your great future determines your increasing potential. Okay, right. So you can, if you think you can. Here, the author says that before you want to produce any results, you need to set your belief to be correct first, all right? And then you will be able to do it and take that action. If you think you can't, definitely it's very hard for you to continue to do it. Now, potential, like I said just now, is those unexposed ability or reserve power. Every one of us definitely have this kind of potential. It's just whether you believe that you have it or not, okay? Lastly, of course, is to take massive actions. And for me, how I motivate myself to take actions is because, honestly speaking, I'm not a very hardworking person, or I'm not always so motivated. And that is why I always need to remind myself that I have this quote, "Just do it" by Nike, all right? To really push myself to do certain things, because not every day I will feel that I want to do this or I want to do that. But sometimes we know that certain things needs to be done, even though you don't like it. And that is where we can make progress if you are able to take actions. Okay, so this quote, or this simple quote, is also very encoded into my life. If you have a positive belief in yourself and you are willing to work hard, definitely I can confirm that you will have great results. Yes, definitely you will have great results. So believe in that, and I wish you all the best. Okay, now last but not least, today I would like to share about this peak performance. Why I would like to focus on peak performance is, according to the author, and I also personally believe that if you want to achieve success in your life, or if you want to be different, it's very important for you to be at your best. And when you want to be at your best, it's not that you want to compare yourself or compete with others, but it's only competing with yourself to become the best version of yourself. So first part, you need to have a mental toughness. A great psychology, it starts with what and how you think. Do you agree that everything that we do, that we say, all starts with a thought in our mind? Yes. For example, if you have a positive thought, of course, the actions will be positive. If you have a negative thought, what you say may also sound negative. So it's very important to start with a positive thought, which leads to what you say, the words that you say, and that will also affect your feeling, how you feel after that. And this will actually affect the people around you as well. So think, feel, act, and succeed. All right. Okay. The next part regarding on how you can have a peak performance is your physiology. This is also quite understandable. It's very simple, just that sometimes we forget about it. It's as simple as taking care of your health. All right. How do you smile? How do you talk to people? What is your nonverbal gestures when you deal with people? And of course, like for example, you also need to maintain a good body weight, exercise to keep yourself happy, keep yourself healthy, so that you are able to deliver at your best at your work or even at your home. All right. So just remind yourself to spend time to take care of yourself as well, physically. Now, the last one is called phraseology. What does that mean? This one is also related or quite repetitive of what I said earlier on. It's regarding on the words that you say. I would like to urge every one of you, if possible, to build a vocabulary full of confident statements, positive words to motivate you and remind you to elevate your confidence in whatever you do. For example, I can, what? I will do this. I would like to challenge myself to do this. I want this. So all these statements, it can be reminded if you write it down. For example, you have a sticky note or you do it in a nice quote, put it in your bedroom or at your work desk, or even as your phone wallpaper to remind yourself that you can do it. So ladies and gentlemen, that is sharing from myself. I would like to hope everyone to focus on becoming your personal best and not waste time comparing and competing with others, but we can always learn from other people who you think they are successful. And this person, Ralph, he actually says that the world makes a way for the man who knows where he is going. What does that mean? Confidence also means that if you are clear about your future direction, definitely you have the confidence to plan it out, the strategy, and also take the correct actions. So like all these that I've mentioned just now, have this kind of reminders around you. When you have these visual reminders, it can really elevate or help you to accelerate your confidence in your life. So that's all for my sharing. I would like to open up for any questions and feel free to connect with me in any of my social media. Thank you.
Thank you, Sook, for sharing such a wonderful word and her ideas about the book with us. So now is the Q&A session. So anyone you would like to share something, what you have learned, or you have any questions about what you have just heard, feel free to raise your hand, switch on your mic, and ask the question. Anyone?
It's having a problem also.
Or if any one
All
of
right.
you have any personal experience related to how you have boosted your confidence in your life, I think it's also good to share with everyone here as well. We would love to learn from you. Yes.
I think this is very useful in our life most of the time, because sometimes we have fear, we have uncertainty, and also we have doubts about ourselves. And most of the time is we require someone to support us. And when you can't find that someone, I think book is the best companion that we have to tell us which direction we should go and how we should go. So I'd like to ask Sook Hua, over the years, when do you find the book most useful to you? Is there a moment that you think that, wow, this is a Bible and I should follow whatever things that is say, or any doubts that you have for this book?
All right, thank you, Hui Chin, for the questions. I personally felt that our life, right, is full of ups and downs. Do you all agree there's always ups and downs? Even though you think that, oh, today is a great day, but something happens suddenly, okay? Maybe someone bumps at your car, or maybe someone says certain thing that suddenly triggers you out of expectation. So things happen in our daily life. But I think it's always very important to remind ourselves whenever we face these challenges that, hey, this is just temporary, and there's always a better way to think positively. Because if we steer towards the negative direction, it will actually bring us even down, and you may not even solve the problem. So why we want to go towards the dark alley or even the dark side? Okay, so whenever I feel down, right, it's very important to identify what can uplift you again. So it's very simple sometimes, but we just forget about that. Is it by listening to your favorite music, or is it by going for a walk in a park, or what is it? We need to get up and do something, okay, rather than just sit down quietly at a corner and think about the problems, and also complaining or blaming people in your mind. I would really urge everyone to do something, okay? Stand up and do something, but not just sit there to think about the problem. The solution won't come that way. So sometimes you may need to talk to certain people, you know, do something, or maybe read a book to get that kind of idea or solution to propel you forwards to take another action. Yeah, I think that is very important rather than just sit down there quietly. And in terms of this book, right, why I always love to revisit this book is because there, in each of these chapters, there are a lot of quotes, very simple quotes. I can't really show you. And the good thing is, you know why? This book is quite old, right? And when I try to search and it's not very, very popular, honestly speaking. So when I try to Google for the free PDF version, I actually can't find it. Unless you pay certain website to get the free PDF copy, not free, the PDF copy. So somehow you need to get hold of the physical book, which I think it's really useful. For example, in each chapter, right, the author will actually explain certain scenario, and then he will give some examples how to do it, and then he will have a quote to like sort of summarize or highlight the points. Okay, for example, here confidence is a byproduct of predictability, which means that if you are able to predict what's next, you are confident to do that part. And there's a lot of equations as well, which I personally think it's quite practical for us to implement straight away. So whenever I feel down, or I felt that I lose my confidence in certain areas of my life, or I'm trying out something new, I need some booster, I always love to go back to this book to get some quick ideas. Yeah, because it's very simple to get hold of the content. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sook. So any one of you has any question, feel free to ask Sook. So she told us that it's always good to find out what boosts your confidence. So Hua, so from your sharing just now, right, we know that you like books, and all these books actually somehow bring you up at certain times of downtime, right? So why is it this book that amazed you? What was the circumstances that made you bought this book at that time? You say 5 ringgit. So would anyone, like, I mean, all of us, when we visit all these bookstores, sometimes 5 ringgit book will have doubts. And hey, it's only 5 ringgit. Does it work? You know, that kind of mindset. So at that circumstances, what made you, and it was 10 years ago, you were quite young then, what makes you have bought this book? Was it some thoughts, some change that you want to make, or anything? Can you share with us?
All right, thank you, Hui Chin, for the questions. Like you said, right, that time I was just started my first year degree, and you know, the Big Bad Wolf is very, very near to my university. So almost every year in my university life, I go to this Big Bad Wolf, and that has causes a lot of storage space in not only in my university college, but also in my hometown right now. In my hometown, there's a whole box of books. And right now in my house also, there's a lot of books in my room and in my living room. But of course, honestly speaking, I don't read all of them. But when I want to search for certain inspiration, I will try to find my bookshelf. I know that I have related topics about this area, then I'll go and search for that book and do some reading and then do some sharing speeches as well. So why this? Because I believe confidence, right, is relevant for everyone. Everyone will need this confidence in whatever they do. And as a student at that time, I need confidence to learn how to make friends. And of course, the most important one is to do presentation in public. Yeah, at that time, I do not know Toastmasters yet. So of course, somehow you need to have that confidence first before you are able to excel in your studies. And that has actually helped me a lot. My friend always thought that I look confident, but in fact, I felt very nervous deep down in my heart, okay? To avoid that kind of nervousness or to pick that kind of confidence, there's a lot of work need to be done back end. A lot of preparation needs to be done, research needs to be done. And that has actually also aligned with what I shared in one of my slides. If you want to have great results, you need to have hard work. For me, there is no really a shortcut in the life, even though I know that nowadays, people, they really want shortcut. They want everything to be fast, but you still need to have a certain amount of hard work in order for you to be an expert in whatever you do. So that is what I believe in. I'm not sure about you because everyone is an expert in their own way. So definitely we will be able to be successful if you are confident in what we do. And then we will be able to instill this confidence in whoever that we interact with. Like, for example, Hui Jin is a teacher. She will give that kind of confidence to their students, motivate them. And in my primary school life, right, I also have, I'm very thankful to my teachers because he or she also motivates us that we need to study hard, work hard in order to get the results that we want. Yeah, so yeah, that's my sharing at this point. Thank you, Hui Jin, for the question.
Thank you, Sook. Okay, so
Melanie has a question.
anyone else? Melanie?
Yes, Melanie, hi.
Hi. Good morning, Eugene, Quinn, and hello, Sokwa.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I'm a bit karang kabok. Trying to open up my laptop, like putting up goal. Okay. So coming back to the question, the title of the book that you're done today is The Confidence Solution. Can I please ask you to help me to give me one sentence and in a nutshell so that my mind can understand as I'm struggling with it, what is the core issue or the core point or the bottom line, as I like to use that term? What is confidence and where do you get it from?
All right. So in my opinion, I think I've shared this just now as well. First, you need to have a positive belief that you can do it. So it all starts with a belief that you can do something. Even though right now I tell Melanie that, Melanie, you are a great speaker. You are able to share your life experience to a group of 1,000 audience. But if you think yourself could not do it, do you think you will work towards on that sharing or that presentation to the group of audience? Likelihood it's not likely to be done that way because you are doubtful of yourself, you have not done it, and you have a lot of negative thoughts in yourself. So I would say the first thing is you need to instill in your mindset that, hey, I can do it. I can do something new. I can learn something new. Yes. So it's very simple. Maybe just a simple phrase that you need to instill in yourself that, yes, I can. Yes, you can do something. All right. Start with that. Whenever certain things happen or certain opportunities arise, you start with, yes, I can do this. And then when you say can, then you will start to figure out, how can I do this? All right. Maybe I ask a friend to teach me. Maybe I read up from YouTube how to do it, etc. Then you will start to learn how to do it. So you must first try to tell yourself, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, we need to overcome our fear or our doubt in our mind, because our mind, right, there's this mechanism in our brain that will stop us or protect us from doing something new because it wants to protect us from failing. All right, so that's why it's very important for us to overcome that so-called mechanism in order to achieve something new in our life or do something new. Yeah, I think that will make life exciting. That's why just now one of the questions I asked, are you afraid to make mistake? If you're not afraid to make mistake, you are able to laugh at yourself, right? Then no harm. I mean, no harm trying something new. You will have that kind of level of confidence to try new things, and yeah, no worries to make mistakes. Sometimes we can just laugh at each other from that. Yeah, hopefully that gives you some light, Melanie.
Yes, thank you. I was just jotting down the points in my summary. So can I share with you what I came inside my mind as you?
Yeah, sure.
Can? So I put down as a mantra last time in my company, we had a mantra as, yes, I can. Yes, I will. Yes, this is me. So me is I can. Me is I will. Me is I do. In a very funny way, that was a mantra, and they made it into a song, and they played it the whole working hours until we were brainwashed into psychoed into yes, I can. And then came your second part as to the research needed as to how to do it, what to do, why to do, when to do, all the W's. There are more than 5. Okay. Then I put it on the other side, how we come back to affirm that. So I put dash, 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 affirmation, to affirm it and to validate myself. If somebody validates you, there's a slight subtle difference between each word, a tone and a feeling of that. So to affirmation, validation, appreciation of self, affirmation of self, validation of self, appreciation of self, recognition of self. I'm here, I'm worthy to be here. I deserve to be here. I am allowed to be here. Melanie allows Melanie to be here. So Melanie doesn't sabotage Melanie. We Queen is not.
Yeah.
I think we all have that subtle sabotage where we do sabotage ourselves. Again, based on what grandpa said and mother said and what etc. said in their temper. So we have these 2 Melanies fighting each other on each shoulder. One is positive, one is negative. Right? And
yes,
then,
agree.
Correct. So, and then we get depressed, then we learn what to do to get ourselves out of depression, how to recognize it, and then bring back the positive power. And it was my uncle, my bus cola driver, who taught me this. It's either positive or negative. So you go the positive way, but learn to identify quickly and immediately and on the spot what is the positive here and what is the negative here. So we can quickly take the spade and take out like a school child in the beach, like I like to imagine, take the spade and take the sand and take out the negative sand, black sand, and put in the white sand. So you can be as happy as you allow yourself to be and say, I deserve this happiness. Back to you, Sokwa, sorry.
Yeah, thank you about that. I mean, the thoughts is very important, but definitely there's one more key point that's very important in order to be successful is taking action. All right, so I hope that everyone will not forget to take action as well. After you have those positive thoughts, don't just let it stop there, and continue to motivate yourself, propel you further to take that kind of actions. All right, thank you. I think I'd like to hand it back over to Hui Chin. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sook Hwa, for your Q&A session. It was very, very fruitful because we can learn from each other, and that is the idea of our Book Cafe Toastmasters Club as well. And today,